Hello and welcome to this week's look at action and stunts on film and television. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. If you've listened to the podcast this week, you will know that we are in 1987. We're in the deepest, darkest jungle of Mexico, and Arnold Schwarzenegger and a team of specialists are trying to find out what's happened to a crashed plane, and it turns out that, all is not well. A predator, an alien being, has landed and is slowly but surely killing everything that moves, including his team. It's a remarkable film. It is certainly my favourite. I think I watch it half a dozen times a year, probably. Just put it on, let it do its thing. You know, it does exactly what it's supposed to do for me. I really, really enjoy it. Fabulous action too. CRAIG BAXLEY, who really does, from all of those experienced days of doing the A-Team and Action Jackson we saw not too long ago, the type of action that was created in the A-Team really did set a precedent for a huge amount of everything else that came along. Learning from what had gone on, other performers who are became coordinators after working with CRAIG understood the beauty of doing what he does. The slow-mo is fantastic. We're going to see a bunch of bits and pieces here, a fair bit of it in slow-mo to accentuate explosions, and we'll try and do some identification. So strap yourself in. Here it comes.
Yeah, the challenge for me was conceptually, as far as the scope of the stunts, to what magnitude. Every stunt's been done, every application has been done. To me, it was come up with something new.
Got a job on his hands, got to get it done. CRAIG BAXLEY knows exactly what he's doing. Here's that moment in the picture where the Gatling gun is used, and falling into the airbag is Billy Burton. It's done in a couple of ways, and you'll see in the film they do it in a couple of ways. It's a case of pitching himself right up in the tree on a little rostrum, climbing all the way up. They've put a little ladder up there, and then, 30 feet maybe? 20 feet, 30 feet? 30 feet probably. Which probably looks about 60 feet when you're stood up the top there looking down. There'll be the explosion goes off, and then he goes, there it is, and lands, boom, right in the middle. Beautiful.
I'll tell you what, we've probably got some of the best stuntmen in town here, and they're from all different groups, independents. We've got some of Hollywood's finest here. Really a good bunch.
Wonderful. I wouldn't change a thing. Don't change nothing.
Don't change anything, that's the answer. When you're working with people from different countries, different backgrounds, it's important that there is a sort of harmony between the lot, And on the basis of this, it's depending very much on CRAIG BAXLEY himself creating that environment to work in, and certainly that's evidently here with the amount of action, the universal language of action. Here they are setting fire to pretty much everything before the take, and making sure that everybody's in the right place, and all the firelighters, they're out of the way, they're all out of the way, right, and then ready to go, cameras rolling, and in they come. And these guys getting killed by the chopper with hefty gunfire. Everybody happy, lovely. Print that one, we'll go with it. Looks like a good one.
Basically, the concept here was come up with a battle sequence that would outdo anything that's been done.
Which is quite a statement, because pretty much every battle sequence that you've ever seen in any movie has been done. You take elements of this and elements of that, and you try and redo them. You try and create them slightly differently. The bangs might be bigger. The cameraman was very lucky. There was a bit of falling masonry coming down towards him. But all stunts are pretty much the same. Fights, falls, horses, explosions, you name it. They've just got to dress them up slightly differently and do them in a certain different way. That's the key to getting it right and making it different.
Really, it's come up with something new, fresh, and innovative.
You got time to duck?
And we've taken it to the max here as far as safety is concerned, but the bottom line is we've created the illusion that the audience is going to feel like these actors were indeed part of this battle sequence, as well as themselves.
Creating the illusion, that's what they do on Predator, and that's what we're going to have a look at here. Starting with that camp. Look at that, chucking him out the way. This is lovely. They put the explosive on the vehicle, Arnie then lifting it through, shoving the truck out of the way. Somebody's got to try and stop that truck, and that particular person happens to be Henry Kinsey on the left. That's Steve Boyum on the right. Henry jumps in to try and, right, I'm in, I can stop it. Oh, no, I can't. And then the explosion goes off. Hefty. I don't think that's Schwarzenegger. I think that's Joel Kramer. It could be a second unit shot. Slow-mo. Slow-mo works every time. Now, here's Norman Howell on an air ram. Just at the bottom of the screen, you'll see his left foot touch it, throwing through the air, ba-bang. Number of fire action moments, and then you get others all dressed up in the right way. This is Leon Delaney and Steve Boyum again. Big explosion. Big fall. They appear to be landing on the ground. It's not. It's called a porta pit. There's the air ram that's throwing Steve up into the air. Gets lots of extra height. So it looks like it's the ground, but it's the pads are underneath a tarpaulin sheet which is covered on the ground, dug out. So it's a brave fall with all that stuff happening behind them, and they're landing in the ground, but it is a landing area that has been prepped. These two poor buggers. I think that's Tony Brubaker on the left, getting, again, mowed. Lots of firework. Look at the firework here. Very impressive. These two guys in the helicopter getting hit and then coming out on fire. That's incredibly impressive. More explosions here, again in slow-mo, look, just accentuating that explosion. Joffrey Brown gets some here by the helicopter. That's a magazine gone in there, look. Billy Burton at the top of the tree. We looked at this earlier, the making of. This is how they did the final shot. They've added an extra shot there of the branch breaking, falls from there, falling through this then, that barn area into there. And again, these boys, air rams, fired. They're standing on the air ram. They're then thrown into the air. The flashbang goes off. It's simply a basis of their movement in the air. You can see that they're not jumping. They are being pushed from one side to the other. This guy here on the right-hand side, I think, is actually one of Arnie's mates who was down for the shoot. Now we're chasing through the jungle. The alien has got the heat recognition. He's chasing the big fella. And this can only end one way, you suspect. Running away. Getting close. Then the slide. The old slide. Love this. Arnie did a lot of this with the slide with the camera. But the whole fall itself is Joel Kramer. And I think that's two parts, you know. That could be a separate fall. That's a separate fall, certainly. That's a leap from the cliff. The first part looks like it was maybe a fall into a box rig or a bag. And then the jump from the cliff. That's about 70 or 80 feet. That's very brave. You've got to hit that properly. You don't hit that properly. That's Tony Brubaker in the distance. On the tree limb, doubling the alien. Because dear Kevin Peter Hall, who was the alien, was not going up there at all. And you can't blame him, really. Now, there's an explosion takes off. That looks very much like Peter Kent. I'm not sure that's Joel Kramer on this occasion. So they split the doubling detail. This explosion going off, running out of the way. And again, Joel jumping, catch the branch, snap the branch into the water. Nice. Very nice. And being thrown about. And look at the way he's been thrown about when you... See, that's very clearly Joel Kramer in close-up. in that section there. And then, of course, the big explosion at the end, and the laughing, and Arnie realising, Christ, I've only got a few minutes to get out, a few seconds to get out of here, let me get out of here. And he starts to do his run to get away before that big bang and the fade to white, which is what happens. Running along, and here it comes. Bang. And of course, Kevin Peter Hall then pops up as the helicopter pilot too. And the stunt team. It's impressive stuff. Some great names on there mixed with the Mexican team. That's very good to see. It's a remarkable movie. I love it every time I watch it. I watch it a lot. You should watch it too. That's it. Remember, if it bleeds, we can kill it. Which I'm sure was probably the motto on the set, never mind in the movie. The importance of working with a split team. So you've got the guys you bring with you, the Hollywood guys, but you've also got a Mexican unit. And that's very important because you need to have a form of authenticity throughout the picture. And, you know, okay, these guys may not work on some of the larger budget pictures that everybody else does, but they're doing huge quantities of local film, television, and are doing everything to the best of their ability and really, really giving it the beans there. So remarkable stuff. There are some moments in that which are just sensational. Absolutely fabulous. The doubling's superb. Those explosions are unbelievable. Air rams, you can see them left in shot, you know, just the edges of them, getting the lift and being thrown out. Huge fireballs, lots of work. So it's very, very good to see that again, and I hope you enjoyed that too. We're back next week with more of the same. Don't forget to check out the Pod Dojo Network and drop me a line if there's ever anything you need. Subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Lots do, you know. If you don't already do so, go on, join the gang. They're all doing it, and we'll catch you next week for more. Thanks again. Until then, bye for now.